Okay, grade 7s, welcome back. So you're doing work on your second experiment in our pure substrates and mixtures unit. This unit, or this particular experiment, is very similar to the first in the sense that you can be grouping and categorizing things. But there's be several steps to go through this. Again, it's important to record all your results. So what I suggest you do is you make a chart, and you're going to be observing different things. So at the back of the class, you notice there'll be a number of items. There'll be some cocoa powder. There's going to be salt. Pepper, sorry about that, Kool-Aid singles, iron filings, okay? There will also be at the back of the class a bottle of oil. It'll be vegetable oil, which is in this. And there'll be two buckets at the back of the class. One is empty, one will be filled with water, okay? And here's what you're going to do. You're going to take a piece of parchment paper, which we provide at the back, tear off a piece just like this, okay? And you're going to go back to your desk, and what you're going to do is make little piles. So you make a little pile of salt, a little pile of iron filings, a little pile of pepper, a little pile of drink Kool-Aid, and a little pile of chocolate powder. Okay, before beginning this, never put anything in your mouth. Okay, that's critical. When you're doing science experiments, you don't know how long I've had these things or where they've been, do not ingest anything. Okay, so that's critical. Also, when you're using the Cool Shots, you'll notice that there's one tied off with a little baggie, okay? You don't have to pour the whole thing on your sample, okay? Just take a little bit, replace the elastic, put it back in, okay? A lot of these items I go out and buy myself, so I don't want to waste them on. Again, you don't know where they've been. If there's any over, we can try to make some grape juice, okay? So what you're going to do is at your desk, get a piece of parchment paper, lay out these items. There'll also be a paper clip, comme ça, a piece of chalk, and you're going to lay them on your parchment paper. If you want, you can label them, okay? And then you also, what you do is you'll get a beaker, and in the bucket with water, you'll scoop some water, bring that to your desk. Also, you'll pour yourself some oil, just a bit like that, in a plastic cup, not in a beaker. So the oil goes in the plastic cup, not the glass beaker. Bring that back to your desk. And finally, you'll find deflated balloons, but because of the magic of science, we're going to blow the balloon up, and you tie it off, and you bring it back to your desk, okay? The first step you're going to do is make your chart, list all the items here. So you're going to have a balloon, a glass of water, oil, and all the items on the table. Again, pepper, iron filings, salt, chocolate powder, drink mix, chalk, paperclip. What you're going to do is do basic observations, okay? So you're going to look at each of them and just write what you notice. So in the balloon is what I want you to be thinking about, not actually the balloon. So the question is, what goes in this balloon, okay? Obviously, you blew it up, so it's air. Okay, but what's special about air? Because technically air is around me now, but I've trapped in this balloon. So that's something interesting, okay? You're going to compare the liquids. So this is the water, okay? And this is the oil. What do you notice about them, okay? Do they move the same in the glass, okay? Are they the same color? That kind of stuff, all right? Or anything else you notice. You're then going to examine each of the items on your parchment paper. Okay. What does the pepper look like? What does the iron filings look like? The salt, the sugar. Are they the same texture? Okay. How do they kind of feel in your hand? That kind of thing. Compare the chalk and the paper clip. Are they the same as these items? Okay. That's the first step. The second step, what you're going to do is you're going to take a separate piece of parchment paper from the back, using one of the spoons provided at the back. You're going to start to mix the dry things and save some stuff, okay? So you're going to take a bit of chocolate powder, put it on, then you'll take a bit of the salt, you'll drop it, and you'll mix them together, okay? With your hands, kind of spread them around, and then take a look, okay? Has anything happened? Can you identify the salt crystals and the drink crystals? Are they all the same? Is it different, okay? And what you're going to do is mix a number of substances. So you can take a bit of salt with a bit of chocolate powder, iron filings, and grape drink, okay, pepper and salt, and see what happens. Again, what you do is record in the chart. So you're going to have 3 charts at the end of this. One, just looking at the items. The second chart is going to be mixing solids. So when you mix salt with drink crystals, what are you noticing? Okay, do they combine? Does the salt change color when it mixes with the drink crystals? Does the iron filings mix? And such. And you'll do that on a separate piece of paper over here. Okay, once you've done that, you record them in your chart. So your chart would be mixing solids. And say you mix pepper and paprika. You would then write pepper with paprika and what you noticed. Pepper with cocoa. Sorry about that. Scratch the paprika. and such. So you go through all of them and mix as many combinations as you can. The last step of your experiment, what you're going to do is mix the items with the two types of liquids. And these are very important to follow these steps. So you have your water here. You're going to take a bit of cocoa powder, drop it in, give it a stir. What do you notice? You're trying to see, does the water change color? Do you have the same amount of cocoa powder in your hand in the drink? So if I drop this cocoa powder in this water and give it a stir, can I see any crystals? How much does the color change? What's going on? Have they all dissolved? Okay. So now here's the key thing. Since you're going to be mixing each of these items, you're going to mix your cocoa powder first. Once you've done that, one person from your group, or if you're working on your own, you're going to go back, dump this water into the empty bucket. Okay. And then you're going to take a scoop of fresh water, come back to your desk, and mix the other solids in there. Okay. Again, if I mix the drink crystals, I give it a stir, I take a look. Again, I'm looking to see what's happening. Are things changing? Are things dissolving? Are they not dissolving? And then you're going to take this back, dump it into the bucket that has the dirty water, and get some fresh water and repeat the experiment. Okay? And I would do with all those solids. Okay. For the oil, I would choose 3 of the items on the table. Okay? So for the oil, what you're going to do is take a bit of the item, drop it in, give it a stir, take a look. Things dissolving, changing color. What do you notice? Record it in your chart. And then what you're going to do is take this, and you're not going to dump it in anything. You're going to dump this into the garbage. Take a new cup, which will be at the back, add a bit of oil, and mix it with another solid. So I would do 3 solids with the oil, and I would do all the solids or all the powders with the water. Okay? And at the end, you then compare everything. So what you'll end up having is a chart that compared all the items on their own, a chart that compared when you mix the solids together, and then a chart when you mix things with oil, and a chart when you mix things with water. Once you're done all that, what I'd like you to do is if you were to classify things, if you were to put things into categories, how would you categorize all these items? So how would you categorize the pepper, right? What criteria would you use? You can look at how does it mix with other items. So if I put pepper and iron filings together, can I still see the pepper? If I put pepper and oil, can I still see the pepper? Can I put pepper and water? Can I still see the pepper? So does pepper dissolve? Or does pepper take over? Does pepper change color of things? If I put salt in oil, salt in water, does anything happen? Are there similar properties? Okay, so at the end, when you look at all your charts, I want to see how you group things. The cool thing about this experiment, there's really no right or wrong answer. It's how you group things and why you did things. So we go back to that word criteria. Okay, how are you putting things together? What are you thinking about when you put all your stuff together? All right, happy mixing.